Hey guys, welcome to another installment of Zetro's Toxic Vault. And like I said before, send me comments and I'll try to read them and answer them if I can. And actually, that's what I'm going to do right now. I got one here from George Hudson that says, Yo Zet, was wondering if you could talk about the Anthrax, Exodus, and Celtic Frost show at Janus Landing, St. Petersburg, Florida, in December of '87. I was 14 years old, head, so you must have been a 14-year-old head, at a new school who refused to dress out for PE. I didn't dress ever for PE. I got a dress cut every day. Fuck that. I wasn't going to do it. I wanted wear my concert t-shirts and my jeans and my boots so they can go fuck themselves. I remember one of my fellow heads was stoked because he had tickets to the show and a ride. I just rested my head on the track at junior high, looked up at the sky and said, fuck, no ride. My friend told me about an asshole guard who got his leg broke. Kids rushed the stage and you guys got thrown off the stage basically. Don't blame you. And the kids got kicked out of the show into the cold rain. Well, that's true. I remember that. And that brings me back to a time when they didn't know what they were doing with barricades in front of shows. And I remember going all through the country and them just nobody having a clue. They did not know the mechanics of it, the engineering, any of the physics of what they do now. Like you basically stand on a platform that's built into the barricade so it counters the way. It makes a ton of sense. Anyway, they didn't have that sense back then. When I first started in thrash metal, thanks for subscribing to my channel, but I need you to go over and subscribe to the Exodus YouTube channel right now. Then you can come back here and then you will have everything Exodus. Every legacy show, even every Exodus show or Violence or Possessed or anybody from the day. Back then, Metallica, whoever it was in the Bay Area at that time, they had guys that sat on their knees in front of the crowd. And as soon as somebody would come up and try flipping up on stage, these guys would throw them back. They let them do a little dance and throw them back. But there was just so many people coming up at once. You literally, if you go see Exodus, there would have been probably no less than 6 guys that had to stand on their knees like this and anytime just throw them back because there really wasn't a way to contain it. We're talking the early years here. So I would go across the country or with Exodus and there would be so many different styles of them. I would see guys who had plywood nailed to 2x4s, and then the 2x4 went from the stage to the barricade, and eventually, if you put enough weight on it, it'll buckle and it'll just collapse. So I seen a guy. We were in Lawton, Oklahoma, and we played this. They have rodeos there mostly. It's kind of like a rodeo play ring, but they they rigged a stage up there, and this guy literally had rope, big thick rope, tied around barrels to keep people back. And then he comes up to me and he goes, I think that'll keep him back. And I'm like, yeah. For about a millisecond, I go, that rope's going to be hanging somebody, and those barrels are going to turn into fucking beach balls and be passed through the crowd. Yeah, we opened. We hit in, I think that was Pleasures of the Flesh tour, so we opened with Deranged on that tour. As soon as we cut into Deranged, it's like, John, fucking barrels went, the rope, I don't know what happened to that. They just got thrown into oblivion. So again, going back to that, it was very primitive, at that time. Even a major tour like MTV's Headbangers Ball Tour, and which I'll get to many stories of, I think we had 17 barricades and Anthrax broke 13 on a show. Pro tour like that, they were still at this point in '89, still not knowing how to do it. So it just goes to show you, back from 82, 83 to up then, there was really no clue. So getting back to St. Petersburg that night, it was Celtic Frost, Exodus, and Anthrax. And it was probably maybe 5,000 or 6,000 people in this place. I think it was called Isoplex, and it was like an ice arena or somewhere where maybe the affiliated hockey team played. I weren't a pro team, but something like that. And they set a stage up there, and they had built a barricade that was, again, not, physically fit for the amount of people they were putting in there. Plus the mechanics and engineering weren't all that. Again, it was a mess. So I remember Celtic Frost going on, and I don't think they played the whole first set. And, to be honest, I don't even remember if they played or not because they were having so much issues with the security and the police. It was one of those shows where there was probably 40 or 50 officers, actual police officers in the show. And I remember they couldn't have rigging where they're usually going to put sound and lights. So the stacks were on the stage, and the lighting trestles had light poles, but they weren't behind a barricade like you would see now. Even if that existed, they don't. They hang from the rafters. That's what the rigging is for in any venue that you play, if you're going to have those sort of things. And so the light poles were in the crowd, and I was like, okay, as soon as this starts, people are going to hit those light poles. And I'm not talking just with 8 lights on it. I'm talking, it falls on you, something's going to happen. So I remember that Celtics Frost. Honestly, I don't remember Celtic Frost set that day. If they played, leave me a comment. Let me know how many songs they played, because I'll go back to this, because I just remember it was hectic for all of us. We were told to stay on our buses. I don't know why. It was just so kind of fascistly military and kind of, there it is right there. Zetro's Toxic Belt. Horns up, fuckers. Get it right now. GreyhavenMedia.net. Not even to use a better word, very Nazi a mentality, and it was in the South and in the, mid 80s. And so we go on to play, and I don't think we were even 5 songs into it, and I could see the barricade start to buckle. And we had Tom's brother, Tim, was on tour with us, and he was filming for Exodus, just, back in the days when they had the big old lumpy ass cameras with the cassette tape in it, the VHS. He's in there, man, and he's videotaping away, and we're looking in, and I'm looking at these light trestles, and they're going, just moving back and forth, because the people are it's a vicious mosh pit out there, and I'm looking in the front row, and I see this thing, and the thing is starting to move to the left. You can see it. And so we get down there and look down, and I remember our stage hands, our guys that worked for us, our row crew at the time, ran down, and they were saw Tim, and they pulled him out. And some of the guys, they got a hold of we're in the middle of a song. I'm singing, and I'm watching this go down. And they go in and they pulled some of them out. But right as the last guy they went to pull on the stage, the last security guy, it buckled, and his leg got caught in between the barricade and the stage, and 5,000 people pressing against it. This dude was in agonizing pain, to whereas the song had to stop midway through. I had to ask the crowd over the PA to please back up so we could get this guy out of the barricade. He was stuck. I mean, his leg was, we couldn't even see it. But when they pulled him up from the stage, his right leg was close to his head. That's what happened to his leg. It had completely busted, and the only thing was holding on was flesh. It was completely it was to his it was equal to his head. I was freaked out. I was like that the minute I saw him. Oh my God! And we're walking off stage, and he's asking Tom for a drumstick, and he's like, "Here, dude, you can have the whole fucking pack." And I'm like, "Dude, don't worry about a drumstick. Your fucking leg." And so we go back to the stage, and now it's a melee. And now the police are involved. And now you got Billy Bob and 40 of his boys up on stage telling y'all need to get out orderly and try, this concert's over. And he just went on this huge rant. And he's telling everybody that it's over. And Anthrax hasn't even played yet. We only played 5 songs. Like I said, I don't even remember if Celtic Frost played. I'm under the impression of thinking that, because again, this was 87. That would be, 32 years ago. I'm lucky I can even remember this shit. And I'm not even quite sure. So again, send me comments if you remember their set. And tell me what they played, because that was great on that. And I'll get into touring with Celtic Frost after. But this is more about this road story from this show. So I felt really bad. And I walked to the side of the stage. And there was, like where you would get in if you were going backstage. And there was a ton of fans there. And let me know if you were one of them and you were standing on the side of the stage. If you're seeing this, send me a comment, because I want to know what you were thinking about that, because there was a ton of them. And I walked up and apologized to them. Says, hey, guys. And, hey, Zet, man, I'm so sorry. This isn't our problem. They go, man, we understand. As soon as I do that, one of Billy Bob's associate, I think it was Jimmy Ray, he came up and said, hey, you in the band, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, you need to get your ass on the bus. I'm like, hey, man, these are my fans. I just want to tell them. He says, I said you need to get your ass on your bus now. I'm like, hey, fuck you, man. Make a move at me. This place is in a melee. I go, you got to put your hands on me. There's about 400 fucking people right here. And the crowd, so yeah, like roaring, because the cops were, everybody was in total disarray, and this guy was by himself. And then he saw that went down. So for any of you fans that had my back that day in St. Petersburg that day, thank you for that. That was awesome. That showed our unity. I was like, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Cameo.com. Go there and I'll send you a personal message. You could use me sending someone a message to fire them, break up, rip on them, anything like that. Nothing out. Cameo.com. So we thought after our set that they shut down the show, but they didn't. They actually let Anthrax play. And Anthrax played, I think, 8 songs or something like that. And then Billy Ray and Billy Wayne and Bobby Sue and everybody came on stage and said, this show is over. You all must leave right now. This is a riot. You guys are inciting a riot. All going like that. And he told all of us, y'all get in your buses and leave, or you're going to be arrested for inciting that riot. And at that point, we were just like, fuck this guy. Fuck this whole thing. You know what I mean? We felt bad for the fans. So, and like I said before, if any of you guys had my back, thank you so much for that. So we got on our buses and we all went to the next town because we were on tour. And again, another killer wrote a story. Thank you for, reminding me. That was a special one to me because, like I said, there's shit that goes on out there that you guys don't know about that we're up against. And we go on and you don't hear every little thing about it, because there's so many. I mean, on a tour, you got 32 shows. Let me tell you, those are all each 32 stories. Some may be little, some may be big, but they're all a story and they're all. Anyway, thanks for coming in. Remember, leave me all your comments and remember to subscribe to my channel. And remember, motherfuckers, horns motherfucking up.